Yo, Element here, back with you for another video. And today's video, we are going to be hopping through the red zone, and we're going to be basically sweeping it all. So yeah, like I said, sweeping the red zone. This is not an easy task. Obviously, we're hopping in here for the movies one first, obviously. And you know, I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty easy in terms of the first few stages. But I think definitely once you get towards the latter half of the movie's red zone, you do get into some issues. You know, sometimes you get like, you know, like BoJack, you know, his locking or something like that, or Broly obviously being as unfair as he is. It can get tough. So yeah, but obviously this first one here, we got the Turles fights. Pretty easy fight. Obviously, one of the starting red zones. The GT characters, they kind of the duo, they kind of destroyed this first phase. Obviously, yeah, we're running their team through all these red zones. We're gonna sweep in with their team, and I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't as bad as I thought. I think I definitely like their team more than the Super Saiyan 3's, Super Saiyan 3 and Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta's, team. So yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much Turles. Turles is not that bad though. Like, remember, he's the first fight of the movies. First, we got him introduced during the beginning of 7th anniversary. He's not going to be too hard, but like I said, as we get through this, it'll get a little harder and harder as time goes on. But yeah, nothing really too crazy to talk about here. But yeah, that was the Turles fight basically. Alright, and we're here for the next fight. This is going to be the Lord Slug fight. Lord Slug, similarly to Turles, is actually pretty easy, obviously. First two fights, they came out at the same time. So it goes to show that it's just going to be a pretty easy fight. Like I said, this Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta and GT Goku team is pretty good. I think they have some good options for sure. Definitely stuff missing. I would definitely say the Power of Wishes team could use some help, but I think we're gonna receive that during this anniversary, so I wouldn't worry too much, at least right now. But yeah, Lord Slug is pretty easy. I do think on this stage though, I think we did get the revive though, which was interesting. I think we got hit like super low, and then I think I just used it just because I could. I didn't need it, but I believe that's how it is. It might not happen like that. I believe I used it at the end just because it was like, oh, that's cool, we got it. But yeah, I feel like the revive, I didn't use it too much until I got mostly into the end portion of these stages, where obviously the last phases of them, or just like in general, like Broly and BoJack and Janemba, you know, I used them, I think, more so than I would have in these earlier stages, which makes sense, right? So yeah, that's Lord Slug, just honestly, like I said, these first two pretty easy. This first phase, these minions, they kind of go down pretty easy, and then Lord Slug himself, he's just not it right now. He's just not it. So yeah, it's child's play at this point. So yeah, that's Lord Slug, and yeah. Alright, next we got Cooler. Cooler's fight is not bad as of right now with this team. I do know you could get clapped up, I'm not gonna lie, you could. I've definitely gotten smoked in here when it first came out, so I'm not gonna lie, it can be hard. This first phase is pretty easy for the most part. I think Dore dodges, so sure, but that's not really crazy. Cooler himself, at the last phase, hits pretty hard on normals, actually. He can do a lot of damage on normals, even at type advantage. So some characters may have been looking a little bit weak, but, you know, it's not the worst. I think we definitely got through with it. Nothing too crazy. I would definitely say that this fight, in terms of difficulty, it's kind of in the middle. I feel like I want to say it's kind of in the middle in terms of difficulty. This and like 13, I mean, they're like the two middle stages, I guess, so it kind of makes sense. They were kind of in the middle in terms of difficulty. They weren't like too hard, but you know, you could definitely get caught in some places, so I think there was that to it. But like I said, it's not really that hard right now. I think there's a lot more tougher fights at the moment that we have. There's a lot more stuff that will get you caught and get you killed. Obviously, we got the Wicked Bloodline, the Red Ribbon Army Red Zone. That could definitely just do a lot worse to you. But like I said, these ones, the earlier stages, not too bad, not too bad. I'm not gonna lie. Glad though, because we were able to pretty swiftly, you know, get through this unscathed. Obviously, having options like Vegeta and Trunks on the team helps a lot. AG LR Gohan, LR Super Saiyan 4s can still do some pretty good work, you know, obviously. So yeah, just a lot of help on the team. Just makes it a lot easier, I feel like, at least compared to the Z Saga characters. So yeah, that was Cooler. Let's move on to the next one. right, the fourth fight we got here is going to be Android 13. So, Android 13, he's a pretty interesting fight, because what they do here is they actually make the last two phases AGL, which is really weird. So you can counter it pretty easily. Now, on this team, I didn't have too many tech characters that I felt like bringing, but I did bring full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku, because I feel like he's solid enough, and he could definitely get through this red zone without being, you know, too much in danger at all. So that's good. And then obviously we brought our boy, our GOAT, Tech Ultimate Gohan. Obviously he can carry. Even now, he can still do really good in difficult content, and he's gonna age really well. So, yeah, we brought some good tech characters to handle him. This first phase got easily destroyed, like in nearly less than a minute, which was pretty crazy. And then once we got to the last phases, I feel like we were kind of chilling. We had the guard on this turn right here. We had the guard with the Super Saiyan 4s on the second phase, so that was good. So we could at least super a bit before you know, taking too much damage. And then, like I said, full power Super Saiyan 4, he can handle himself in at least this level of red zone for sure. He can handle himself in most red zones actually, but you know, it just is how it is, honestly. Like 13 cooler. Like I said, there was similar difficulty, I'd say, maybe. In terms of like, yeah, like in terms of difficulty, I'd say they're definitely like similar. I feel like I would probably say Cooler is a little harder just because he hits harder, but at the same time, well, at least it feels like he hits harder. I don't actually know, to be fair, but at the same time, Bojack does cancel dodge, so that is I mean, not Bojack, 13 does cancel dodge, so that is it can be an issue in some places. I didn't have any dodge characters on this team, luckily, so it wasn't an issue here, but it could be an issue. You never know. But yeah, that was 13. 13, like I said, he's double AGL. I feel like you can kind of, you know, prepare yourself well enough to do well against him, so it's not too bad. Alright, and now we are on to BoJack. So, BoJack was a little bit harder, for sure. This is when I think it started getting a lot harder in terms of beating these. BoJack took, I think, 3 tries, in all to beat this, originally, and most of the time it was just literally at the last phase I just get, like, killed. So, yeah, but I definitely took a few tries on this one. This is the one that actually took, like, okay, we actually died 2 times. It took us 3 tries, though, like I said. So, hey, you know, BoJack can still cook a little bit. He has that locking, and that's what makes him super annoying. That locking seriously can do a lot of damage to your runs. Like, say, I think my first run doing, he locked Vegeta and Trunks in the second slot when they don't have their guard no more. And sure, they're ints, but then AGL or Gohan was locked in the first slot, and I didn't have his guard active. So I was like, well, GG. There we go. So yeah, it just gets to, when you get to situations like that, it gets iffy. I brought Cell on here. Now in this run specifically, I honestly can't remember if I transformed with him in here. I want to say I did, but I can't remember exactly. I know at least one of these runs I did transform with him in this fight, so that was cool. Cell, I mostly brought him to try and get AGL or Gohan to transform and, you know, do some cool damage and such like that. And obviously Cell himself is really good. So, you know, I thought it would be pretty cool to bring the boy Cell. I do really like this Cell easy. I think he's really good. Even before transformation, I think he's pretty solid actually still. But yeah, I brought him here for that reason. And then Namek Goku I brought on the team, which is kind of different. Most of the team you'll see throughout the video is pretty much the same, but then I switch it up with like maybe 1 or 2 characters. Namek Goku's one of them in this fight. I feel like he cooked in this fight. I'm not gonna lie, he did cook. He did well. And that's why I feel like Namek Goku could still put in work. I think you just need to have, if the fight is definitely tailored, like in a way, like if he has type advantage or maybe they do AoEs, I think he can definitely cook. Like Cell Max, he can still cook in there, for sure, because the AoE phase, he can stack up a lot, and then once you get to Cell Max, the last phase, he can still cook. So I do like Namek Goku still. But yeah, that's my team comp for this one. Like I said, this one took a bit of tries, because he can be a little bit tough here. Even like you can see your Tech Ultimate Gohan is taking a little bit of damage, and such, and he does dodge on this phase. It gets annoying, and then the lock on the last phase, so it gets annoying. But yeah, that was pretty much BoJack. Let's go on to the next fight. Alright, we are on to Janemba now. Second to last fight. So Janemba's pretty interesting. Janemba, I believe, actually only took one try, actually. So this one was probably the easier of the last three. Is the easiest one, I think, for sure, out of the last three. I want to say that Janemba, I believe I did get the revive in this one yet. I do believe I did get this one. Janemba's pretty easy, though. I feel like, in terms of, as long as you can get his what is it called, his rage, like if you can get past the first, like before his rage, like the inch phase, right, if you can get a lot of his health out before he does the rage mode, this fight becomes a little bit easier. I was definitely worried in some places because I know this guy does hit hard, like he hits real hard for sure. He can one-shot you with the super attack sometimes, like, you know, he's a 1 million damaging boss, so he can hit hard. But I definitely do think that Janemba wasn't too bad. This, like I said, this one only took one try, so that this was not too bad. In terms of team comp, it's pretty similar. Tech Ultimate Go On obviously being here. I think for the majority of the runs, once I got to Android 13, I brought Tech Ultimate Go On for a lot of these. But other than that, the team's comp is pretty similar. I brought Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, just in case we got to that physical phase. You know, SDR character always helps. Obviously, Vegeta and Trunks is Super Saiyan 4s, and then obviously the GT character obviously is there. HDL or Gohan being on the team also helps lots too, so we can just have some slot 1 options. But yeah, Janemba wasn't too bad, I'd say. I think he was the easier of the last 3 fights. So yeah, that's Janemba. Not much to say here. 2-phase fight, nothing too crazy. Now let's move on to the final fight, which I'd probably say was the hardest one. Alright, the final fight being Broly. So this fight for sure was definitely the hardest one. This one took, I think, 4, maybe 5 tries? It's 4, 5, or 6 tries it took, or something like that. I want to say it's 5 tries I took on this one. This one got hard, and a lot of the times, actually, it wasn't because of, like, the AoE phase or anything. It was honestly because of the last phase. So, yeah, the last phase kind of killed me a lot of times. I know there was one time I did die instantly on the SCR AoE Broly phase. So that definitely did a big number on me, for sure. But this one, I think the thing with this, I got pretty good, rotations to where I was able to get Cell going here, and I got him active pretty early. I think I got him on Tech Broly, actually. So it was pretty lucky I got the heal in, and then as well as I got the revive in, I think, as well, yeah, during the AGL phase. So it just became like an easy dub from that point. I was like, when we got Cell, I was like, oh, we might be winning here. And indeed we were. Yeah, so Cell popped off, basically, at the end. Cell was popping off. The GTLR popped off as well. They got the revive in there. I love that the revive can do damage, because I feel like that's one of the things with revives. I hated about revives. You say, like, you're super low, and you want to revive, obviously, but, you know, you like to get in some damage before you revive. Well, with this one, you can do both. You get hit, and then you do damage. So I feel like it was a really good way they built it. I love that it's like a counter like that. So for this run, like I said, I brought Cell. I wanted to do it for Gohan mostly, but instead, Cell ended up cooking himself, so that was pretty good. And then another person that I brought was AGL Golden Frieza, and AGL Golden Frieza definitely helped a lot just when I needed someone who could tank, and I didn't have to worry about their damage or anything, right? Just having someone who could literally sit there and tank, it definitely helped a lot. And I'm glad I was able to do this after a few runs, because I was not trying to sit here for like, what, 10 plus runs or so, and then just like, I can't beat this. And I was like, I don't want to give up on this. I was not going to give up. I'm going to keep on going until I can do it. And I feel like this is where the, you know, resets thing comes into play, where right now, I'm glad that we don't have this, like the 3 per day runs in this event, because I feel like I was only able to do this in one day because of that. So yeah, that's something I definitely am grateful for. I'm just gonna be a little sad when it leaves. So yeah, for any other no items I gotta do in the future. So that's gonna be unfortunate. But yeah, like I said, look, we got Cell here, and from here I feel like it was like I was looking pretty up. I think we got through the AoE phase like pretty fast, so that was pretty cool. I think Cell did do some stuff, and the GTLR is obviously going crazy. So I think we got lucky, for sure. I think we got lucky, and that contributed to a lot of this fight. But yeah, that was pretty much all the fights. Let me know what you guys think of this team, you know, what buffs it could use, how you guys enjoy the team if you guys got this LR. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. But that's pretty much me. I will see you guys in the next video.